Welcome, Wild One. Autumn is most definitely upon us, and this chapter is all about honouring your body as well as the earth for offering up its bounties to us so that we may nourish ourselves as the days and the nights fall into temporary harmony. The best place to find seasonal offerings is in the countryside, as many people are kind enough to gift their locally grown vegetables. I was so grateful to this lovely person who generously gave their courgettes for free, and another who gifted me a box of carrots even though I offered to pay them. I was sure to cook the veg and eat it with an attitude of gratitude and to send them positive energy in return. I enjoyed the comical shapes because I rebel against the old saying that you shouldn't play with your food. After all, life is about taking joy in the little miracles. My environment has such an impact on how I feel, and this curio cabinet was looking rather neglected, so I wanted to give it a bit of a makeover to make it more of a cabinet of curiosity than a cabinet of chaos. I wanted to continue my spooky green academia theme, and in my mind's eye I saw antique books of greens and browns, wooden tarot boxes and fossils, and trailing green plants hanging down, so I got to work. I have a small collection of books, and moving them all is a pleasure, as I'm reminded of all of the literature that I've collected over the years. Most of my spiritual books are on the bottom shelf. This book was nibbled 10 years ago by my darling house rabbit Betty. I have kept this tatty version as it reminds me fondly of our time together in our old apartment and her mischief making. This book about witchcraft is one that I have very much enjoyed. It has wonderful images, and each section is contributed to by a number of different experts. There are many memories from my childhood inside the cabinet, like this hedgehog which I made from clay once upon a time. And this sigil. A sigil is made from letters and is crafted using your subconscious to become a magical symbol. Most of the antique books have been in my family for almost 100 years. Even their old covers have beauty, with their jewel-toned colours, leather-bound bodies and titles decorated with gold. At this stage the apartment was of course a mess, and Strawberry Dog chose to do an inspection of my progress. Moving this cumbersome piece was a challenge, but I had patience with myself. I started to take out the old wallpaper, sanded off the wood as best I could, and prepared the area for the new design. I laid the wallpaper down, smoothed it out with a tool, and cut the surplus edges, then repeated this for the other 3 compartments. Once finished, I returned the curio cabinet to its rightful place and admired the new paper from a distance. I am really happy with how this came out, and now all it needs is some decorations, ornaments, and of course, all of the books put back. My next small project is to transform this boring corner into a little witchy reading nook, to create a space just for me, to encourage me to take time out to quietly read my books. This involves some heavy lifting and dragging, but an easy bit of DIY. What do you think, Wild One? Am I making any progress? I had some paint to use up, and months ago I had bought a curio shelf, which I thought would be a perfect home to my many tumblestones. I have collected crystals since I was a little girl, when I would try my best to learn all their names. I remember that I loved them so much that I made a display area for them in the bottom of my wardrobe and used to think of it like it was my very own museum. Decades later, and it's so cool to be able to put them in a real display. Whilst the paint dried, I started to sort through the gemstones to find the ones that would suit the little compartments best. They had been buried in a drawer for a long time, so I also cleansed them with water and sunlight before towel drying them gently and then adding them to the display. At this point, I can honestly say that my inner 7-year-old was very, very happy. After all of the DIY, I felt I needed a snack, so I'm making Oatie Nutty cookies. I use peanut butter, sultanas, cinnamon, dark chocolate chips, oats, coconut flour, and a baking tin with some greaseproof paper in it. If you have a nut allergy, you'll need to remove the peanut butter and coconut flour and substitute with something else, though I use the peanut butter to help to bind the cookies together. First, I put some oats in a bowl, and I wish I could give you measurements, but I prefer to make things up as I go along. Next, I add a sprinkle of cinnamon for an autumnal taste, and if you're looking for an abundant spell, then oats and cinnamon are a very good combination. In go some sultanas, taking care not to drop any on my floor as I have dogs, and sultanas are extremely toxic for dogs. Same goes for the chocolate chips, I'm careful not to drop any as I don't want to harm my pooches. I'm sneaking in a little bit of butter here so that they have a warm buttery texture. I'm getting my peanut butter ready, but not adding it just yet as I want the coconut flour to go in first for a coconutty taste. Now it's time for the peanut butter to go in, just enough that it binds the mixture and adds some fat and some flavour. Again, if you have nut allergies, then this one is not for you unless you make substitutions. Give it all a good stir up, or just get your hands right in there and give it a good old squidge together. And then add some oat milk as well to help bind the mixture and so that it's not too dry or it will burn in the oven and crumble apart. Now you can see we have a perfect cookie texture. So I make little balls of the cookie mix and put into my baking tin. I shuffle them around a bit so there is enough room, getting hungry now. And then give them a good old squish on the noggin so they become cookie shaped. Then I put them in the oven at 180 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes or until I can smell them. They should be golden brown when done. I am making a magical drink, a comforting cuddle to go with my cookies. It's so simple and great for cozy Sundays. So I start by adding a cup full of oat milk to a pan, waiting for it to warm a little, before adding cinnamon and nutmeg for a warming flavour, as well as for love, luck and speedy abundance magic. I focus my intention while stirring clockwise 3 times. Then just as it starts to bubble, I turn the heat off and pour into my favourite cup of the moment, my little green pumpkin. I add some sweet honey, before shuffling over to my new cosy witchy book nook. Hello you. And no, it's not for you. Autumn is probably my favourite season, as I have always loved Halloween so much, and although I tend to have a traditional witchcraft lifestyle rather than a commercial one, I admit that I do give in at Halloween. Life has been challenging lately, and my family and I took our minds off things with some playful retail therapy. I got a few little things for my witchy cottagecore apartment. See if you can spot my ghost, which has been about that week, but it wasn't until I edited that I spotted them on the camera. It's not the best lighting, and it is a bit grainy, and I would have edited that part out until I saw Casper, so I left it in for you and I replayed it a few times. See what you think. They've done so well. finding bits of eggs. Yeah, because mummy's mushy, I know. But that's the point, isn't it? However beautiful you make your home or try to, the most important things are the people and animals that live inside the home. So nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're perfect. Mwah. Is a self-care body scrub. You need a jar. You also need a bowl. So I'm going to use this one. Just a large bowl. Need some coconut oil. As it's thundering today, it's very humid and warm, so this should be really good. We also need some sugar. I usually buy brown sugar. I think I've gotten something really fine this time, so we'll see how that works. And we need peppermint oil as well. Where did I put it? Sugar, peppermint oil. So when you're using an oil like this, it needs to be put into a carrier oil, which is going to be the coconut oil. And then the sugar is there for like a lovely exfoliant. So what we're going to do is take all the packaging off. I've done no preparation. I should probably put a microphone on. I record on my mobile phone and I don't have a proper camera and my phone's charging at the moment. So yeah, we just wing it. Self-care day is about relaxing, isn't it? It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, gosh. Hang on. Also, you can always bang it on the floor. Oh, ready. Yeah, so inside, it's ready. It's good. It's good. So we just need a spoon. Look at that. That comes out really easily. And we are going to use all of it. And that's why I like this size of Kilner jar. As you can see, it's basically almost the same size. Obviously, if you've got pets like me, you're probably used to an imperfect life where you clean and then there's mud on the floor, muddy paw prints and signs of life and pet fur. So try to avoid putting pet fur into your self-care exfoliant, but hey, if it gets in there, I'm sure it won't do any harm. Okay. So we've got the oil in there, super gooey, a bit like if you've ever used emulsifying ointment, it's got that texture, super sticky. Let's go put the sugar in. Obviously, as I do everything, I'm stepping over dogs. This is an entertainment channel, definitely don't do this as I do. And for health reasons, obviously this is coconut, so it's not going to be suitable for people who have nut allergies, even though it's not being consumed in this case, it's to put on your body. And peppermint oil, again, if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, trying for a baby, don't use essential oils. And also oils can cause allergic reactions, even the coconut oil could do. So always be very careful, do your own research. Don't do as I do or do as I say. This is entertainment only, not health advice. My little disclaimer, not health advice, my lawyer would like me to tell you. And, you know, just if you're going to try it, maybe just do a patch test or something sensible like that. Oh yeah, take your magical jewellery off. There we go. So I've just been adding the sugar in. I've used a really soft sugar in this case. I bought the wrong one, or I think I ordered it online and I think they've substituted it. So I've got a very fine sugar. So I'm not going to get an exfoliating scrub out of this. But what I will still get is a lovely combination between the oil and the sugar. So sometimes, you know, it's your day off, you've ordered everything, something's not gone quite right. Oh, it's all right, isn't it? That's life. We carry on. I might actually have some tougher sugar as well to add in, so let's see if I do. But yeah, you want to try and keep all the product in the bowl. We don't like waste, us witches. You know, we work with what we've got. I would imagine that's how a lot of witchcraft came to be, you know, that you couldn't just go down to the convenience store in medieval times. Obviously, as I'm washing my hands, you can see the oil already working, forming like a barrier. So this should help with keeping moisture in the skin and moisturising. As I say, I've had mine for 6 months before running out, and I will use it maybe every 3 weeks. So it depends on your body, but I will use it all over the body, but not on the face, not around the eyes, just because you don't want particles of sugar getting in your eyes. But you know, it's lovely for taking care of your legs and your feet and those like rough bits of your heels that you get, where we just don't take very good care of ourselves. And I feel like our legs and our feet hold us up, and we go about our days so busy, we often don't give them any TLC at all. So that's one of the reasons I started to do this. Let's see if I have any other sugar. What's in my cupboard? What's in my cupboard? What's in my cupboard? Got some stevia, which I quite like to keep. I would say to you, get the more granulated sugar. I've obviously been given soft sugar, which is not good for making exfoliant. But as I say, this will make still a lovely, less of a scrub and more like a sugar like balm. I think it's going to be like a coconut oil and sugar balm. It smells so beautiful. It smells like when you're making a cake, it's just coconuts and sugar. Beautiful. So I'm going to try and put as much sugar in as I can, because I haven't got the super granulated stuff. But again, getting the granulated, I prefer getting the brown to the white. I think it's just less refined. I think it's just a bit better for you. So here we go. I've got a ball of my scrub here. And actually this is going to be very gentle for me. It's probably quite nice. That's about the size it's going to fit in the jar. What we're going to do next is add some peppermint oil. I've read different things, so you need to add the amount that works best for you. I'm going to add up to 10 drops, which sounds like a lot, but don't forget it's going into all that coconut oil. Get messy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done. That's it. Obviously this is not for eating. It's for external use only. If you have any health conditions, speak to a physician or a doctor before you try making things yourself, because even herbs and plant-based oils or oils from nuts can still create allergic reactions, just like, you know, anything can. So, and everybody is different. That's my little disclaimer out of the way. But so you'll get, when you use the right sugar, when you're given the right sugar, you'll get a much more exfoliaty product. Whereas mine's going to be more buttery. Mine's going to be like a body butter, basically. Coconut and sugar body butter. So I'm going to whack that in my pot. Look. I love it. Even just doing this is so relaxing. Just like making it. And I don't know if you work in an office or on a screen a lot of the time like I do. I work full time and I'm on a computer a lot of the time. I do quite a job that takes a lot of mind power, and just taking a break from the screen and doing something with your hands, something that's physical. And this is low level physical, isn't it? But just something creative. It helps me, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel joyful. I think it's that inner child. You start to feel playful again. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching me make an utter mess in my kitchen. Having the wrong sugar and just having a bit of a laugh about it. We're quite relaxed over here on this channel. But basically, this is what you'll get. As I say, yours will be more granulated. I'm quite happy with this. I quite like trying new things, so we'll see. And what I do is I use a wooden spoon and I'll take it into the shower with me. I don't have a bath, so I'll take it in the shower with me, scrub it all over, wash it off, and then I always stop water getting into the jar. So I use a separate spoon, take that out, make sure my hands aren't too wet, use the product, and then I make sure I don't put any water into here. And that's why I use a kilner jar, because I don't want moisture getting in here. I don't want any bacteria getting in here or for it to go off, because it is made obviously with organic materials. And I put it in a shady, cool spot in my bathroom. And I know bathrooms can get a bit humid, but mine's always fine. You know, my products are always fine. They last really, really well. Be really careful, because this can be really slippery in the bottom of a shower tray or a bathtub, and or a floor or something, and so you don't want to slip. But I don't think the people you live with would thank you very much for leaving peppermint oil and coconut oil all in the shower tray. But yeah, so then when you're done, I think it's really cute. When you wipe it off, it looks so cute. I'll show you in a minute. So the jar of sugar lives up here with all my soft. This is like the section I made myself for self-care. Put some shelves up. Obviously you've got to have a toilet roll display. And you know, some cute towels. And the sugar lives here with this little wooden spoon, which I got from a charity shop. So made sustainably, they like sold as new goods by a charity shop. So I quite like doing things like that. And then we carry it over to the sink. And this is what I would do before the shower, is I would already load my spoon up. Like, that's quite a good amount just for the body. But I'm just going to demonstrate with a bit on my hands. So I'm going to take a little bit. And yeah, I'm just going to use the scrub on. And here it is exfoliating. I'm just going to use that on the back of my hands. I will do the heels of my feet later, but I will spare you seeing my feet. Those of you who like feet, you know, feel free to like and subscribe, but I'm not going to be getting them out for you. And then just wash it off. Alright, you can see the oil's formed a bit of a barrier, but you have such soft hands. Oh my goodness. It is almost time to part, but before we do, Wild One, there is always time to make a magical cup of tea. I hope that you're feeling well and happy today, but I am aware that there is much going on in the world that is shocking and scary, and we also have our own troubles to bear. Whilst I hope that my videos bring you some respite from this, I know that they represent but a small moment in your life. Sometimes I have found that it is the small moments and the little joys which help most in the times of trouble. Here I am making garden tea using flowering jasmine, which holds positive symbolism across the world. I wanted to share a moment of hope with you, as this tea ritual reminds me of the story of the lotus flower. The lotus starts its journey in murky and muddy waters, but out of the deepest challenges, it journeys to the surface, where it eventually emerges beautifully before sinking back into the mud at night time, only to reappear again with the new dawn. Wild One, whatever your troubles, know that we need mud to grow, and through all challenges, your inner beauty will always triumph in even the heaviest and scariest of times. So treat yourself with care and hold on to the power of light if you ever find yourself immersed in fear and darkness. Next time on Wild Wish. My next episode will be a very special one where I share my own true ghost stories with you and the story of my previously haunted apartment. And of course, there will also be plenty of pumpkins. So join me next week, Wild One, for a cozy Halloween special. Until then, like if you like and subscribe if you vibe.